Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick apology. About a quarter way through the show, the mic started to silon. It's not completely unlistenable, but it doesn't sound great. So just a heads up. But other than that, great show. So enjoy. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Tower Babble podcast. This is episode 15. Once again, I'm Julian.
I'm Dan.
And Jeremy. Over Skype. So we got two people in one room and Jeremy over Skype. So we tried another new system today. This is the third. There's really only one other possible combination. Two others. That me and Jeremy, and then you and Jeremy, and everyone else over Skype. But whatever.
Not gonna try those.
No, probably not. You guys don't have enough. What's the word I'm looking for? You don't care enough. But due to everyone being busy, this one's gonna be a little bit less structured. Usually it's like movies, TV, games.
Those are like free
comics.
flow.
This is more just like whatever came up first. All right, so Walking Dead season 4 teasers. Dan, you watched it in like 3 minutes.
I watched.
ago.
There's two 15-second teasers. They don't really
Explain anything
at all.
Well, how did
What the one teaser says is that everything that they were trying to keep out of wherever they are now got in, and then that's the end of your 15 seconds.
So is that? I haven't been watching, but I don't really care about spoilers. So
it pretty much just means zombies got into the prison. Like
because they're in a prison.
Whatever. Well, the whole the big bad guy of last season was basically defeated. He's not dead, but he's lost all his power. So I don't think that's what they're referencing when they're saying that everything we were trying to keep out got in. So I don't know what else.
What else would you talk about in a zombie show? Yeah. Obviously, you're talking about. You probably not to try to throw you for a loop, but that's pretty much what you would talk about.
So maybe they have to leave the prison, something like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, the shows are designed to not have an ending and just continue on and on and on. So you have to figure something out that make people do stuff. Otherwise, it's boring. Ant-Man, the movie, getting an earlier release date. Did it say when exactly, Dan?
It said, I think, July. I think it's like a week or two after Batman Superman.
Originally slated to open November 6th. Will now debut July 31st. This gives it 2 weeks after the Man of Steel sequel. All right, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like more direct competition, I guess.
That's really cool. 2 weeks sooner. Wow. I'm really excited to see that one, actually. Edgar Wright's
Ant-Man?
Yeah, Edgar Wright's a good filmmaker. I'm excited.
He is. I mean, we don't really know much about the story as of yet, but yeah, I'm excited for it.
Jeremy, any thoughts?
No.
All right. Okay. What else we got here? So Geoff Johns, here, that's something closer to your wheelhouse. Geoff Johns announced that he's leaving the Aquaman title after issue 23? 25. Jeremy, you're a big Aquaman fan. You don't care at all about that?
It's fine. He'll be back.
Not on Aquaman. I mean, he'll do something else probably. You think he'll come back to Aquaman?
He said he'll be back.
All right. Well, I guess then if that's the case, then it's not really big. There's really not really news at all there.
Well, it's news. Like he revitalized Aquaman's character. He basically same with Green Lantern. He just rebooted made him interesting. No.
Well, yeah.
Did you read?
He talks about him being the most regal and one of the most powerful characters. Yeah. But that stuff that they did with the Justice League crossover is really, really good.
Yeah.
But he talks about Geoff Johns how Aquaman's one of the most regal and powerful characters in the DCU, and that's what makes him cool. And
it's one of his favorites.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably after Green Lantern and
Flash.
Well, I think Flash is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got here? So we're going through these pretty quick because we didn't have a lot. I was hoping it would last a little longer. Okay, so Deep Down, it was really originally shown at the PS4 launch. It's PS4 exclusive by Capcom. So we had 2 new trailers, one showing more extended gameplay. Or is it one? One or two? Two. And some news that it's going to be set in New York 2094.
2094 in New York, which is weird because the entire the first trailer that I watched made it seem like it was completely set in medieval times, knights in armor fighting dragons.
Yeah, but at the end it ended up with a terminal.
I don't even know what to think of that. But yeah, the other trailer, the second trailer is like very futuristic, like modern. It looks almost like Assassin's Creed, like you have to go back, not go back in time, but like, sorry? Yeah, exactly. I was excited after the first trailer and not after the second one because it's like, oh, great. It's Assassin's Creed.
You hate
Dragon
Assassin's
Age.
Creed.
He hates a lot of things recently.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Hi, my name is Daniel. And these are the things I hate. It says your character will be able to read the memories trapped in both monuments and artifacts, which will in turn enable you to relive and explore them, explaining why that we've seen a game appears more medieval than futuristic. Okay, well, there you go.
So you touch a wall and you go back and find a dragon?
You touch a wall and you go back and find out how the wall was built.
Oh,
Obviously, it's a little bit more exciting than that.
oh my god, just make the game about fighting dragons, that's it.
Well, no, because those games already exist. This is a different take on it.
I hate Skyrim too, by the way.
You only hate Skyrim because it's broke on you.
Yeah.
Everyone else liked it. Go back and they fixed it. Go back and play
I've
it
tried.
again.
I had, well, not recently, but I tried after it got patched to go back, and it still had a bunch of bugs, and I still found it unplayable.
Well, all right. But there's apparently it
Like,
might
why
have-
release a game if it's going to be that shitty, though? Like, if it's going to have
Well,
that many
I mean,
bugs.
like, how do you explain it? Like, I guess you could say like it's kind of like Mass Effect release. That wasn't exclusive, but like you don't really see two games that come out on the same day, like for the same platform, be
You can't
released at
admit
different
that-
times. Like, how do you do that?
And you can't admit that you're having problems with something because then people are not going to want to buy it.
That's
even
true.
Even if you wait long to say, and say you fixed it, they don't know for sure.
Then don't, like, you can't release an unfinished product. You know?
It's all about how the PS3 like system processor worked.
Okay, but that's not something that was new to, like, they knew about that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you're upset that. that
I'm
didn't
upset
work for
that they
you.
released a broken copy. It's like releasing a CD where half the songs aren't finished and they are like cut up wrong.
Yeah. Well, either way, the next generation it won't happen again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, all right.
So they lose you as a customer?
No,
Are you gonna buy
I'd
another?
give them another
Elder Scrolls
shot because
game?
it wasn't that, like, there was parts of the game that I loved, and it was fun. Like, I actually like would spend hours just like going and hunting because that was sweet. All fun trying to find a different animal to kill in every area.
It's like Red Dead,
And
medieval Red Dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I think part of why I hate it so much is I was super excited leading up to the game. I was like, I was all about it. I was telling people about it, about how big the map was and how immersive it was supposed to be. And then to get it and have it be broken and have it just like, it's not even that, like, okay, sometimes there's a glitch where a dragon moves across the sky weird. I can handle that.
Yeah.
There were points where I was having a conversation with one character, story related, and his character would be reading two different lines of dialogue at the same time, trying to talk about how his day's going in his stupid little town. That kind of stuff just takes you out of the game.
Well, it
irreparably.
sounds more like you just don't care about a stupid little town.
But no, he was saying it like the voiceovers were crossing over. It was like it was gibber. It was like I somehow activated both conversations.
That's weird. Yeah, no, yeah, they have problems like that. Like, remember there was telling about how, like, if what's their Fallout 3,
Mm-hmm.
there'd be weird, like, glitches where if you weren't wearing a certain hat, you couldn't get up past, like, a certain level. And like they just
I mean, I get it because they're gigantic games.
maybe it's too ambitious. Maybe they need to, like, dial it back.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, make it big. That's great. But if it's giant and doesn't work, there's not much point.
Well, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Some of the games, like GTA 4, as probably the most obvious one, it's huge, but there's not a lot to do. It's just kind of like a big empty world. You drive around, there's pedestrians around and stuff, but like other than crash your car and get chased by the police, there's not much really to do in the world.
Yeah,
like you can fly a helicopter and drive cars, but I mean, other than that, like what else are you really doing? I guess it's called Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's like they try to make it look like this big full world, but it's really not. It's kind of more of an illusion of a full world, which is another way of doing it. But I mean, they went the full like you can talk to every single person type route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So Vin Diesel talking about his, I guess, doing press for Riddick. Just talking about his role in Marvel's. I can't
Guardians of the
talk when
Galaxy?
I'm hearing my own voice.
Yeah,
It
this
drives
loop
me,
is throwing you
drives
off.
me nuts. Okay. Anyway, so talking about how he can't. He's gonna be playing Groot.
Yeah.
And that how like the meetings actually went. And he teased something about merging of brands, like this big like whole thing of starting like years from now and about other stuff. But like, It's so cryptic. It's like everything he says doesn't ever make any sense.
The term merging of brands leads you to believe either like maybe they've got some sort of deal with Sony or Fox, and because like those would, to like a Spider-Man coming in and being part of the Avengers would be huge.
Who would he play in a Spider-Man universe?
Sorry,
who would Riddick play or Riddick?
No, but
who would Vin Diesel play in a Spider-Man?
No,
universe?
he's talking about the Marvel universe expanding and merging that brand.
Yeah, but he was
Spider-Man.
involved. The talks were involving him, so he would be involved.
Yeah,
in
so maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy are around for something that Spider-Man, or it would make more sense for the X-Men to be involved with them, I think, but
yeah, although
or Fantastic Four probably would be
the
more
X-Men
likely.
haven't really been like the movies we've seen so far haven't been like,
and it doesn't
at
seem
all.
like they have any plans with.
Normally the X-Men are cosmic in the comics, like they
Yeah.
talk to like the Shi'ar and
So
all
the
that
Fantastic
stuff.
Four,
yeah,
but
not in the movies at all, not yet anyway. Well, I don't know.
that's what I take away from. Other than that, what's the merging of brands?
We talk about this all the time, like how great it would be to have those
Yeah, of course.
come together, but until that, if that's years away, like I'm willing to wait on how long.
Well, I believe in that article he says something about 2016, but that's not necessarily the merging of brands. What is that?
What?
In that article,
He talks about how they were talking about things for more immediate, like he wanted to be involved or more immediately, but also maybe down the road. So maybe.
well, I mean, the thing is with Groot, he's only doing the voice, so he could be a different character in the Marvel universe too.
Apparently, no, he's also doing like the motion capture as well.
Well, yeah, but still, it's a tree. It's gonna be pretty different looking than if he has to.
Hey man, it's a challenge. It's an acting challenge. Okay. Was this? Did you put this in here, Dan? Nintendo on the path to relevance.
Yeah.
By Atari founder. Well, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Everyone knows the Wii U is not doing very well. But Nintendo DS was in a similar... I remember having a conversation with you guys earlier saying, like, the Nintendo DS is going to fail. Like, when it was just launched, there's no games for it. And then they dropped the price, and the good games came out, and now it's doing really... It's the best-selling console every once in a while, it'll be the best-selling console of the month. Maybe they just announced that price cut, which we announced last week, or we talked about last week. We didn't announce it. We're not Nintendo, but they talked about how they did the price cut, which isn't as big. I think it's $50, but it'll be important to get those games out, I guess, at this point. But again, we were talking about this last week with Jeremy, who's been awfully quiet. That those games aren't really coming. At least we don't see them yet. So maybe they are on the path to relevance. What does he say here? The exact quote is not much. It's, quote, very difficult position and could be on a path to, quote, irrelevance.
Well, he just has experience with that kind of thing.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not that worried. I mean, there'll always be room for...
I don't know. I think the Wii U is very different than the DS situation.
I'm not worried because I don't necessarily want a Wii U. But I want Zelda and Mario and Smash Brothers and Star Fox and Metroid. Those things I want, but those things will always be around, regardless if Nintendo has a console or not. There'll be a means to get those characters and those franchises. So I'm not really that worried. I mean, I feel like they're going through some weird growing pains right now, where they don't know really how to use the internet, kind of really still. And it's like, this is 2013, so you should probably figure that out by now. So. There's that huge controversy about that Metal Gear Solid character design going around. Yeah, like one of the Halo designers came out and said that it's disgusting.
It is. It's excessive. She's wearing a bikini top that's kind of tied up, and then a thong over her fishnet ripped up pants for some reason. Like, there's nothing tactical about what she's wearing. There's no reason to make her look that way.
Well, no, not in the real. No. It's not a real world thing, but like Metal Gear games have always been super weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, sure, but this is pretty blatant. It's just show as much skin as you can and make it super sexualized. Yeah, I don't think it needs I don't think video games need much more of that in the first place. Right?
Well, they're having a hard enough time being taken seriously. Oh, that's
what Jeremy.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey.
How long were you gone?
I don't know. Couple minutes.
Oh, so yeah, we were talking about other stuff for a while, and I was like, I made a comment about how you weren't talking very much. Completely forgot that you didn't even realize that the call got dropped.
Yep.
Where did we finish off where did you last hear?
I don't know. Wii U stuff.
Okay, so we were talking about Wii U. Now we moved on to the Metal Gear Solid 4 or 5 character design thing, and how industry doesn't really need any more of that. Like it's hard enough time being taken seriously by a lot of people. I mean, for us, no, but like, for a lot of people, that's not going to help.
Yeah,
it's like someone looking at that, be looking at like you're playing a porno, because it's like that's kind of Hideo Kojima, weird guy. Metal Gear Solid games, really weird, but like.
But he said it. He told the designers he wanted her to look erotic.
Yeah, erotic and quote sexy. I don't know. It is. You know what? If I had to guess anything, it'll be redesigned. They're not going to leave it that way. There's too much people making too much a stink about it.
Did he clarify like what it actually meant?
What?
I think in the article he says he didn't mean erotic. What he meant was quote unquote sexy. So it's still suggestive.
Yeah. What's the difference?
I don't know. Like even then, like you can make her look sexy without making her mostly naked, without having a thong over top of her pants for some reason. Like
he also doesn't speak English, right?
Yeah.
So it was translated.
Like it was translated. So either way though, maybe there's some miscommunication.
His culture's a lot different too.
That's true, but at the same time, it's like I feel like that accepted in that culture too. Like I feel like women aren't that sexualized.
Anime is pretty, I don't know, sexual, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, was it that Sailor Moon in Japan? Like they were actually naked when they did like their transformation or whatever.
Were they?
Yeah, and we only saw like their like form, like it's just like a shape. Like apparently in Japan, familiar. Like they're actually naked.
Fighting evil by me.
No, don't sing it.
Finding love's a real fight.
Nope.
She is the one called Sailor Moon.
Okay, anyway.
Remember when your sister's friends were trying to sing that?
I think
you don't know how it goes.
In fact, okay, so
I used to watch that show on the daily, man.
My girlfriend was singing like.
You want to tell people.
It's so funny. Like my girlfriend was like started randomly singing. What's it called? What's that Disney movie with the mermaid?
Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid. Anyway.
You know that Disney movie that has that little mermaid in it? What's it called?
Anyway, she started singing that song. She stopped halfway and she's like, wait, does Daniel know all the words to this song? I'm like, yeah, he probably does.
Of course I do.
Again, not something you should be telling people.
Yeah.
In the book, she gets eaten.
Yeah.
Really?
In the Hans Christian Andersen novel, or yeah,
is that it's based off of?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
I think it's Hans Christian Andersen. That sounds right.
Whatever. Anyway, that's it. Glad they didn't go that route. She
gets cooked and eaten, yeah. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't read that book.
From the 1940s?
I don't know when.
Or when it's written, whatever.
No
anyway,
idea.
So Katie Sackhoff, everyone knows her as, what's her name from Battlestar Galactica? Starbuck, yeah. Is being rumored for Captain Marvel? Right.
Well, no, it's the rumor. All that she said is that Disney has talked to her and she has to figure out her scheduling and blah blah blah. So
she doesn't look a lot like the new Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the redesign, yeah, for sure. And she is pretty badass in Battlestar, so like she can play a fighter pilot.
And she's also been in movies recently. She's in Riddick. I don't know how well she is in that movie. I mean, I never really liked her.
She plays a bounty hunter in Riddick. It's all
she plays the same role from Battlestar Galactica.
Well, kind of.
She's like the same rough and gruff like.
Yeah, maybe she's a little typecast into being a badass chick, but there are worse things to be typecast.
You could be typecast as a dumb chick,
yeah.
But, you know. Okay, so speaking of old shows, so Stargate is being rebooted as a movie trilogy. Awesome. Did you ever watch Stargate? I remember watching Stargate SG-1.
I used to watch SG-1. It was a movie first before it was a TV show.
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell. And I watched a little bit of Atlantis.
This makes me think of that. It makes me think of the South Park episode of Imagination Land.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I like Stargate's a cool series, a cool.
I can't really remember. I don't really remember any like the lore behind it. I remember there was like certain species that they knew and like were dealing with, but weren't like. I don't know. If I always remember it being overly complicated. But maybe it's just because I was watching when I was little.
Yeah, I don't know. They go through stargates to different planets.
Yeah. Do they know where the stargates came from?
I think it's explained in the movie, yeah. I don't remember the name of that species, but that's like where Egyptian mythology came from because they came through and they had those heads of animals, like Anubis and stuff like that. They had the jackal, and that's like part of that is like Yeah, where a lot of the Egyptian culture and mythology came from in that movie universe, anyways.
Maybe it's all.
I don't know. I don't remember it well enough to quote it directly, but
Fair enough. Sticking on TV, so the Arrow, we talked about last week how they were going to cast Amanda Waller in the series. So now she's been cast. It's a girl from Spartacus.
Navia,
exactly. So there's two characters from Spartacus that are being reunited on Arrow. You have
Wait, who's the other one?
Crixus.
He's on Arrow?
Yeah, he's Slade Wilson.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's true.
I didn't know that. I haven't been watching that show either.
Yeah, but like you should go watch this. He's like really badass as Deathstroke.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's the girl that played the second Navia, though, the less hot Navia.
Yeah, the crazy one.
Yeah.
I disagree.
You disagree?
You think she's the hot? You think she's the hotter one?
I think she's better. Yeah.
Better looking?
actress or better?
Both.
I'd agree on one.
Yeah,
but the first one's definitely better looking. Not that that's all that's important, but whatever.
Kind of is for that show, anyways. Not for
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, for Waller it doesn't matter.
But Jeremy was saying something to me the other day about how, last week we were talking about how we thought this might be a sign that they might be tying this in with the movie universe. But based on this casting, he thinks that. Jeremy, do you want to explain your idea here?
Well, yeah, just on the casting, since she's basically only a TV actress, then it doesn't really seem like they have plans for her to be in a movie, I guess.
That's true. I mean,
she
nowadays,
should be,
nowadays
right
things been more blurred lines. You know what I mean? With those types of things. What else we got here? Oh, so last week we talked about that Game of Thrones recast the Mountain. So this week they recast the Mountain again, with another like huge dude. So
some big Icelandic dude.
He was
I think. Well, the reason being, I guess, is the Mountain has a much larger role this season. In the first season, he was basically like a throwaway character.
How often is he on screen in the first season? I barely.
He was only like for a couple episodes, but like briefly. He went crazy, and then he went off into the Riverlands, and then you didn't hear from him for the rest of the series.
Was he the guy? Was he in like the
He's the one who cut the horse's head off.
He
was jousting. He lost, and he cut the horse's head off
in one slice.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Jacked, but. In season 2, he had a couple lines anyways, and then I guess they replaced the actor again. He's gonna have a larger role in the third season.
How do you say his name?
I didn't read it.
Halfpour. It's J. Bjornsson. I got the back one that the double dots on the O.
Yeah.
But how do you think that first name there underneath the picture?
Halfpour.
I don't know. Bjornsson.
There's a weird accent on that O.
Is that an Exante Gu or is that an Exante Grav?
It's different.
So Futurama is done. Finished. Again. Second time.
Well, yeah, this has happened before, but
I don't think it's coming back this time. I mean, we haven't watched any of the new stuff, which is probably part of the reason why it's being canceled. But it's not our fault specifically, but not a lot of people. You love Futurama.
I love Futurama too. I should be watching the new stuff.
Some of the old stuff is like some of my favorite.
Oh yeah,
like the clamps and it's stupid, but it's hilarious to me. Like I don't know.
That's kind of the point of the show.
I kind of want to watch the finale. I mean, the fact that it came back was more than it probably was expecting to ever happen anyway. So rumors are that they're looking for a female lead for the Batman Superman movie to be like a romantic interest for Batman. If it was going to be a character, not a cast.
Jennifer Garner.
No. Not a casting. Which character would it be? Like Catwoman? Or we just did Catwoman.
I don't think they're going to do. They just did Catwoman.
Although she was pretty good. Speaking of Catwoman, did you like
Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway's Catwoman?
Yeah,
she did a good job.
She did a great job. I wasn't looking forward to that because I never really thought she was a very sexual character, sultry in that way. I had a hard time picturing her as Catwoman, but she pulled it off pretty well. I liked it. But yeah, I don't think they do Catwoman again, just to, if anything, to kind of distance themselves from the Nolan ones.
Okay.
Right?
Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale.
They did Vicky Vale in one of the Burton ones, didn't they?
Yeah,
Second
she was
one?
in Batman Forever.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. I don't know who else.
He doesn't really have a lot of love interests. If you're going to keep expanding the universe, you could do Talia.
They also technically did Talia in the other one, but
I guess.
not the same way.
But like the giant international assassin, like crime lord Talia al Ghul version, you know. Well, that's kind of hard. I guess.
Yeah, you have to have Ra's al Ghul to do Talia. You know, like.
Not really. You can kind of talk about him, reference him as being
but
immoral
like,
and all those types of things.
Again, that's all stuff that was done in the Nolan. Well, I guess you can't really.
I mean, again, kind of, but not in the same way. It's kind of taking something the fans know already from The Dark Knight, and you could expand on it. You know.
I mean, we don't have enough information
Maybe
really.
maybe they'll see those ones that already happened in this universe.
Sorry.
Maybe they'll like what happened in the Dark Knight trilogy, like continue. So
Yeah. It's not a reboot, so like all that stuff is.
No, they're not. No, they said they're
like I said last week. They originally wanted Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Back, right. So casting a different actor doesn't necessarily mean that they're disregarding the Dark Knight trilogy.
Doesn't necessarily, but it doesn't speak very highly to the chances. I don't think they're going to keep that stuff as canon for this universe.
Well, no, I think they could. I think it's just years and years later.
They were going to.
So you have Batman who retired once, came back, then got his back broken, came back again.
Yeah, well, I mean,
then retired again, and then decided to come back again in Gotham.
World needs Batman.
Yeah, but then they had the whole like Robin Blake thing.
And this movie is being influenced by The Dark Knight Returns, so.
I guess, but I mean, I feel like that's a stretch. If that happens.
Yeah, but either way, they already offered in the part, so therefore they already thought that it would continue from that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like once they knew that he wasn't coming back, they can easily just change that plan.
Yeah, but the story is the same. They're making the same sequel to Superman no matter what.
I think it's a leap for people, though. Like you have someone playing the role 3 times in a very iconic trilogy. To have someone...
Especially this soon afterwards.
Yeah, like to say that this is the same guy, is especially one who looks nothing like Christian Bale, that's tough, you know?
But either way, the people that are going to be confused by that are going to have a hard time with it no matter what.
I don't think people can wrap their head around Batman fighting Superman. Because they've been around for 50 years. Having having someone else play the same character so soon in a continued like canon, that's a whole different story. That's a lot more. That's asking a lot more. You can only ask your audience to buy so many things. And having the Batman fighting Superman's already one big buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not like it has to be talked about like so much.
No, but I mean, then you'll have people who don't think
it just shows up, and then those characters that we saw before that died or whatever don't show up again.
Then how do you do? Then you have to recast Joker when you want to, because Joker's going to come back eventually. You recast Joker.
Yeah. He doesn't actually die in that series, so yeah, he has to be recasted no matter what if he comes back.
That's true. I mean, I get that he has to be recast anyway, but it's easy to recast someone in a role that was again very iconic in a different universe than it is.
To me, it's the same universe because the tone of Man of Steel is the same as the Dark Knight. It's going to be the same tone, same caliber.
I would believe you, but there's nothing to make you, other than that like a little bit of evidence. There's nothing to make me believe that that's the same world. That the same tone doesn't tell me. I just think that they're going a certain direction with their movies. Not
I think it doesn't have to be, but I wouldn't be put off if it is.
I wouldn't want it to be. I'm putting it out there right now. I wouldn't want it to be. Jeremy seems like you would prefer that.
That just makes sense. Man of Steel is Superman Begins, so.
They should just call it Superman Begins. then sell that and Batman Begins as a box set. So we might as well stay with DC for a little bit here. So Villains Month started this month in the comics with Forever Evil #1, and then obviously every title is being taken over by the villain of that character. So obviously there's a million Bat books, but there's also a million Batman villains, so that's not a problem. So you have like the Reverse Flash and the Rogues, and you have for the Flash obviously. Yeah. But like the ones where you're not sorry?
Darkseid for Justice League.
Yeah, a lot of them are telling like their origins. I just read the Joker one for Batman, and there's like it tells like different take. There's a million different takes on Joker's origin, but this one's like really messed up of like him being like tortured as a child, essentially. It's like, creepy to say the least. I mean, Joker's supposed to be creepy, and I think done well. Like that's how you want it, but like the art down to the artwork, like very creepy. So you have like Cyborg Superman, who is different from the original Cyborg Superman. You got Zod, Lex Luthor, Metallo. I don't know if they had Metallo back in the New 52, but apparently they do. Bizarro, Brainiac.
Bizarro would be a weird one.
What else we got here? Who is this? Parasite? Who's Parasite? Is anyone?
Parasite. It's a Superman villain.
Okay. Doomsday. Joker, obviously. Riddler, Penguin. So I don't have to go through the Batman ones, but some of the ones that are... Sorry?
Black Hand.
Black Hand. That one's kind of cool, yeah, because the new game's coming out. Mr. Freeze, obviously. Joker's daughter. That's weird. I never... Okay. Poison Ivy, Harley, Black Hand, which is the Green Lantern one. I was thinking the game Black Mask. There's a Black Mask one as well, I think. Mongol, which is another Green Lantern one. Relic. The Green Lantern ones aren't as exciting because, I mean, obviously Sinestro's in there, but
yeah.
Sinestro's kind of a different place.
It's for Green Lantern now too.
Hmm?
There's quite a few books for Green Lantern now too.
There, they have how many? One,
like
two,
Green Lantern,
three.
New Guardians, Green Lantern Corps.
Well, they built that universe around it. Now they can expand on it, which is the best way to do it. I think my favorite is still Green Lantern, New Guardians. I think it's the most fun of all the Green Lantern ones. Yeah, of the New 52 stuff. Obviously, the great Geoff Johns Green Lantern is amazing, but aside from that, New Guardians is a lot of fun. Cheetah for Wonder Woman, and Firstborn, which I guess is a new villain for Wonder Woman as well. Grodd, Reverse Flash, like I said. The Rogues. Desaad.
We get the picture.
I'm just looking. There's some cool ones that I'm looking at here. Let's see where we can find another couple. And Lobo, the new. I'm guessing with the new.
The stupid new look for Lobo.
Although, not on the cover of this one.
Let's
so,
see.
right there. That's the old Lobo.
Yeah.
Although you don't like, you talked about you didn't like that redesign.
They're not like the new emo Lobo.
Yeah. Anyway, so you get the picture, but Forever Evil, #1. I've read it. Do you know what's going on? You didn't like. You want to be spoiled now.
I have to pick a day to catch up.
Okay.
I don't know when.
So
Spins out of Trinity War.
Yeah, and the main heroes are out of the picture. As far as we don't know what's going on with them. They say they're dead, but we don't know. They're obviously not. I think we can probably predict they're probably not dead. But it's really, really good. I really like how they're like the way they're doing this. Like the way Trinity War was like shaping up for me was like kind of boring. I mean, you could kind of see threads coming together, but the way that it ended, even though I knew what was coming, was still done in a surprising way, and it was like entertaining. Now that like this is now so much more comic booky. Not that it wasn't before.
So you do like Trinity War, or you don't like it?
It's I don't know how do I put this.
So
With Forever Evil, it becomes like better in retrospect. You know.
Well, I'm at the beginning of it, and it's pretty sweet so far.
There's some really cool set pieces. But a lot of the character moments are kind of lost, and you don't need to read the expanded parts of it, but it almost feels like you're missing stuff if you don't, which I don't like when you're doing that.
It's like the air of mystery you get, kind of.
There's a lot of twists. I'll give you that. Like you think you know what's happening, and then all of a sudden you have no idea, and it's something else entirely. So I'm not gonna. Dan still doesn't know. It's like I still don't want to. Like you have any idea what for Evil? Jeez.
I got.
Yeah, that's kind of excited for you to not like experience that without knowing. I'm surprised you went this long without finding out. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, the new trailer for RoboCop. I just watched it for the first time with sound. I watched it before. I kind of like it. I think it looks cheesy, but I mean, still, the first RoboCop was pretty cheesy, so it kind of just fits with that whole idea to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It looks cheesy. I don't know why RoboCop needed to be rebooted. I don't care at all.
Because
getting rebooted.
I know, but it's enough already.
But he's badass. Why wouldn't you reboot? Why wouldn't you reboot him?
It's not gonna stop.
It's
Create
like pick and choose, and I'll still probably. I don't know if I'm going to see that movie in theaters, but
it's basically a cyborg movie.
yeah, essentially yes.
why don't they just reboot Universal Soldier?
They still make them. They're like
They're like number 17.
Universal Soldier direct to DVD. Not even Blu-ray. That's funny.
It's about technology and whatnot, right? So that speaks to our time right now. So I think it's time to reboot RoboCop.
I think RoboCop at the time was like, yeah, at the time when RoboCop originally came out, technology was first starting to like really boom. So it was like, we can make a cop, a robot, RoboCop. This will sell millions, and like there's literally a RoboCop statue going up in Detroit.
Yeah.
So
from a Kickstarter.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, people really like that character. I think those people aren't gonna like this version, probably. I don't like that they painted him black. I kind of like the silver.
Yeah.
But I like that they did the homage where they had him gray and then they painted him black, which is kind of cool.
And the action looks pretty cool, I think.
I mean, there's very little action in the actual trailer. It's just kind of like
there's I don't know, there's quite a bit.
I feel like
He fights a couple other robots,
It doesn't
right?
spoil anything, but it shows stuff.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if it's half as good as Dread 3D, sold. Dread 3D, which
I started watching it the other day. I didn't finish it. Good. I got busy. I had shit to do.
How do you not watch?
I started
that all
watching
the way
it.
through?
I put it on, and I thought I would have time. Then I had to go do some
That movie's.
stuff.
I talk about it all the time. I love it. Oh, so speaking of, it reminds me, for whatever reason, so Carl Urban, which reminds me of Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin was apparently up for talks for Batman. He was talked to. He was on the list, which is a rumored list, but he turned it down. Apparently. Would you rather have had Josh Brolin?
I don't know.
They didn't offer him and he turned it down. It's not
well, he was on the. It was. I guess.
He was on the rumored list.
No, he was actually. It came out today that he was talked to. They talked to him about it.
Yeah, that's fine. If they offered him the part.
Would you? Okay.
Was it Jamie? Were you the one that told us to look up that picture?
Of what?
Picture.
There's a picture of Josh Brolin in Batman.
Yeah, whatever.
It looked pretty sweet, and
It's all right. Yeah.
I see. Like he, for whatever reason, seems a bit more intimidating to me than Ben Affleck, and he has that like square jaw and stuff like that. But like,
I don't know, man.
hey, I'm fine with Affleck. It's gonna be all right. Like,
I just watched The Town like twice.
The Town is a sick movie.
The movie's disgusting, man.
Whoa, what is this? Okay, no, I haven't seen this picture.
Look at
That's
that
a
picture.
sweet Batman.
Man, The Town is moving into my top like 10 movies of all time. I'm pretty sure.
It is. I don't know. Gone Baby Gone is good too, but that's just him directing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I want Josh Brolin
watched
as Batman.
Daredevil like 3 times because it was on TV.
Why?
I looked up. I wanted
Why
to watch
3
it.
times?
I wanted to watch it the other day, but it wasn't on Netflix. So I
It's like-
picked it up.
I have the director's cut, which is actually better than the original.
That's what I heard.
There's
They,
more footage and stuff.
Okay, but
And they can-
apparently, okay, sorry. Apparently, the director's cut is like most director's cuts just like little extra footage or whatever. Like apparently, the Daredevil director's cut's like completely recut the movie, like put scenes in different orders and like.
it's slightly reworked.
But it makes a big difference.
I think so.
Okay, but like after 2 times, just stop, right? Like,
I think the movie. I don't know why people hate it so much. I think it's just because there's too much going on. Like you got Kingpin, Elektra, and
Bullseye.
Bullseye, which is already like pretty big. I think like a lot.
Mhm.
And the movie's just too long. I think. And there's a lot of cheesy parts, like the fight scene with Elektra.
Yeah, on the
You know what?
seesaw.
I haven't seen it in a while, so I should rewatch it, I guess.
I don't know. I watched it. Like the beginning is like pretty badass.
Are they?
How he's like at the church and he's like it's like a fast forward.
Yeah.
And he's like beat and then they kind of go back in time. I don't know. It's some parts are written pretty well, like his relationship with his father and stuff.
Oh, it's okay. That movie isn't all Ben Affleck's fault. We can all agree that movie had bigger problems. There are some definitely cheesy like that. Did they fight in a playground? Is he even in his Daredevil?
Yeah, that's the only. I think that's the cheesiest part, and then Bullseye is kind of cheesy.
Bullseye's pretty cheesy. He takes like a little paperclip and he just unfolds it and kills the guy with it.
But like John Favreau's in it, like his lawyer partner.
Yeah.
Funny.
I always forget that he's in that. I saw a clip from it the other day, and I saw John. I was like, man, how many movies was this guy in before he started like making movies?
Well, that probably started his relationship with Marvel.
It's true. I mean, yeah, he's just always been that funny guy, like in movies.
They gave him a choice of what to do too. What do you want to direct?
Who? Favreau?
Yeah, I think they gave him a choice between Iron Man and Captain America, and he chose Iron Man.
I think he made the right choice.
Yeah.
This whole reboot thing, Dan, that you're on about it. You're upset that they're rebooting. You don't really care about RoboCop. You're just more upset at the fact that they just keep rebooting things.
Well, no, it's not even that, because I like some of the reboots, and I like the idea of rebooting it and reinvigorating a series. RoboCop doesn't, maybe, again, like you said, I'm not really interested in RoboCop in the first place. It doesn't seem like one that really needs...
That's like, this reboot's not going to get you, make you a fan of RoboCop?
It's not going to do anything for me.
What are some reboots that you did
have
enjoy?
a RoboCop Halloween costume.
That is a cyborg Halloween costume.
$200.
I fucking spent $200 on that thing and never wore it.
That is a RoboCop, not a RoboCop. That is
a selfie.
That's really funny. You go look at it and it's like really funny. It's probably completely uncomfortable.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Well, now you have it ready to go.
The helmet is just uncomfortable, but I have to fix that.
The Photoshop picture makes me laugh every time I see it.
Every time we the one with all of us together in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious. Adam's the one is the best.
Reboot talk.
Sorry?
Where are you going with this whole reboot?
Well, I just think is it a bigger is it that much? No, I'm just saying, is it that much of an issue really? I mean, we know that new IPs for movie theater execs, it's a tough sell. Like, we just had Elysium, that's a new property, and it didn't do very well.
Turtles again.
And we're doing Ninja Turtles again. I mean, Michael Bay. I'm really holding out hope for that one, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. If you know what I mean. But we have all these reboots all the time. Like Transformers 4, which is another reboot essentially. It took a bunch of years off. The new cast. You know what I mean? You're always seeing new stuff or old stuff relabeled as new stuff. Do you really dislike that, or do you just dislike the idea?
It's the kind of thing that there have been a couple really successful reboots, and now it just seems to be the easy way to take something that is like you said, it's not an original idea, so you have half the work is done for you. There's already a set kind of universe. You have to be creative enough to make a reboot. You have to make it more make it work for this day and age. Blah blah blah.
Batman Begins. That's probably the best when it comes to that.
Bring it back. If they bring it back, they have to push the boundary.
You have to change something. The difference between a reboot and you can't just remake the first movie or whatever the movie was the first time.
And Batman Begins is a perfect example.
At the same time, yes. At the same time, though, Batman Begins. Batman hadn't been on screen for a while, and not since Batman and Robin, and that was a huge failure. Where you have the opposite comparison to that is you have when they get a little excited with reboots is you have the Amazing Spider-Man. We just had Spider-Man, and Raimi's Spider-Man wasn't that Spider-Man 3 not good. Amazing 1 and 2 were, and they weren't that long ago.
They were going to make a Spider-Man 4, but then it just fell through. Spider-Man's one of the most popular characters. They're going to keep making Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but why did you have to retell the origin story? We all know the origin story. Everyone knows it. You get to by Spider.
Because they changed it slightly with his parents, right?
Yeah, they're making it a little...
I'm pretty sure the whole parent thing isn't over with. I think they're going to explore it more in the sequel.
Well, I'd hope so, because they didn't explore it at all in the first one.
Yeah, they just kind of introduced it.
So, yeah, I think I read an article where they're going to talk more about his parents and what they actually did.
Well, I hope, like I said, I hope so. But that's what I mean by how to do a reboot properly and not to. I think you need to let it breathe. You have to let it go away for a long time, and then one day,
like Spider-Man.
One day, Daniel, there will be another Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Eventually, yeah. But
that one,
it'll be done.
No, that one, yeah, for sure. Eventually.
I mean, probably not for maybe 40, 50 years, maybe less.
Probably less than that.
A long time.
But
there will not be a new Lord of the Rings trilogy remake in the next 50 years.
50? I don't know, man. That's a tough. That's
no way.
50 years. 50 years.
No, not
I could see it happening in 20 or 25.
Yeah, and that franchise is too big. You can't just let it sleep. I mean, they went and turned The Hobbit into 3 movies. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's no way he's doing any stories for the Silmarillion.
What's it called again?
Silmarillion.
Did he make that word up?
It's Elvish. It's like High Elvish.
If they're gonna remake the Lord of the Rings, then they have to remake Star Wars before.
Well, they're making new Star Wars. You don't have to remake Star Wars.
They're not gonna remake the original trilogy.
Yeah, but you can't really write new Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, I guess you could, but people would have a huge issue with
hey,
that.
like, where do you take the story? Like, you start like some sort of like Sauron's back again? Like what?
I mean, for the record, there are plenty of stories they could tell in the past, but
I get there's stories you could tell, but the meaty section is the Lord of the Rings books, right? That's the best. Those are the
that's
best
the most
parts.
well known.
And
Yeah.
we have 3 very well made movies.
Academy Award winning.
Each book, and in the last one, Best Picture, didn't it?
Yeah, Best Picture and
It doesn't need to be
It
remade.
tied Titanic for the most Oscars.
yeah. I mean, like you got the whole. None of the first 2 got any Oscars, and the third one like won all of them.
Well, it might have got like costume stuff or something or music.
I think they got some minor.
Oh yeah, well, none of the major ones, obviously. None of the ones where you actually tune in to watch.
But like those movies are cherished. There's not gonna be any fan outcry or
No one wants
remake.
another remake. That's like saying that there's someone out there in the world that wants a remake of Star Wars. Someone out there has seen Star Wars and said, you know what, I want to see a new version of this.
The casting was like amazing.
For Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better Gandalf. You couldn't ask for. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
see a Star Wars remake is if they do like in 20 years they do a complete CG remake, so the same likeness of all the characters and whatnot and voices.
You know, when you can literally make CG look like real people, so you can make
Yeah.
you can do Hamill again, but
Yeah,
like
the entire trilogy all CG.
But it's
pick
like-
what they want.
that way it like holds a look from like episode 1 all the way through.
Same actors' faces and everything.
That's one way. Yeah, I mean, I think with Disney, I think that's less likely. With George Lucas, that was much more likely. What else we got? Yeah, like what I was getting at with the launch, like reboots, is I'm okay with it as long as they're done well.
Well, of course,
I don't like just the
but-
cash-ins.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think that's RoboCop is not a cash-in?
Well, yeah, no. But I mean, I know. But again, that's one of those things where I don't have like a strong connection
I
to
guess.
the character.
Like, we all know like RoboCop, it's just a popcorn flick at the end of the day, so it's not like I'm going to be offended.
Like, here's
by
the thing. It's an 80s movie. I probably wasn't even... Like, what year did RoboCop come out?
I have no idea.
Like 85, like something like that. I wasn't alive yet. So I don't have an attachment to that character. I knew it exists. I mean, it's in pop culture. But, like, this is a new way for me to experience that character. I mean, I'm sure big fans would be like, that's, like, sacrilege. Go watch the first movie or whatever that came out in the 80s. But that's probably too cheap.
Like,
That probably doesn't hold out that well, you know what I mean? Also, I don't think there's that many diehard RoboCop fans out there.
That's the thing.
There it is.
What?
Die Hard fans. It's pretty popular.
Well, yeah. I think the character is not the so much as the
Like, the
films
concept
themselves.
is.
Yeah. Like there are some of the later ones apparently were pretty bad. I mean, there's some pretty good comics apparently, like by Frank Miller, RoboCop stuff, and like a movie that was written. I think he was involved in one of them as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know
But they didn't turn out that well. What else we got? What else? Oh, so we talked about the Xbox 360, the Xbox One launch date. What was it? Dan, what is it? The 20. Sorry?
What do you think?
No, we haven't.
It's November 22nd,
A week after the PS3.
a week after the
PS4.
Or PS4, yeah.
Does that matter at all? Is that any significance at all? The fact that it's a week later, is that important?
Well, what it shows is that each company is going first in the territories they lost. So Sony's not going first in Europe because they feel like they already won it, and Microsoft's not going first in North America because they feel like they already own it. So that's what they're doing.
And I think they're going back to that their different philosophies again. One of the first Xbox One commercials I saw, the first one I saw, it literally did not have a single game in it. It was essentially an NFL commercial that had like showing off like the fantasy football like tie-in stuff and all that. But that's it. Whereas I'm sure the first PS4 commercial, which I don't think has been out yet, is going to be all the games and games.
Well, I saw like a Greatness Awaits one, I think.
Yeah, but that's just more of like a PlayStation brand commercial.
Yeah.
You know? And if it stays with something, if it uses that greatness awaits, I think that's a great tagline, by the way.
And I'm pretty sure someone said they saw an Xbox One ad where it was all about sports or something like that.
Yeah, I was saying it was all just, and it was an NFL commercial. I've watched that one. Hillary Goldstein
And,
had an
like,
article about
they
it.
serve what they've made, right? Their units. So shipping them in these territories is better for them because they don't have enough to ship everywhere like at the same time.
Well, essentially, like, people have been saying that, like, essentially, all day one of hardware is already pretty much spoken for. All the pre-orders pretty much are going to fill all the supply for day one, and it's almost impossible to get any of these
It's
consoles.
gonna be so hard to get these things.
Especially when you consider that you have Black Friday coming up right after Xbox One's launch. You hope that you have enough consoles and homes that you can drive, like, game sales and all that stuff in the States. I mean, Black Friday's not that big here. In fact,
but it's huge in the States.
It's huge in the States. People get trampled.
Yeah.
Like, people have died.
Like Cyber Monday too.
Yeah, I mean, like, the deals that are, like, some of them are pretty insane, like, but they're limited, so people get what, so super early, and that's when people, like, you can sell a lot of games. You're not gonna sell a lot of consoles. You're not gonna have any, so you're not gonna get, you know what I mean? Or you might have one, and you'll have people fighting over it. But, like, I think people, they want that publicity anyway.
I don't know. We've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't think the 1 week disparity is going to be that it's going to make that big a difference.
No,
in terms of both console sales.
Apparently, this is the first time that all three major consoles came out at around the same time, less than a year apart. Xbox came out a year before the PS3, the Xbox and the GameCube.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast came out like a year, or almost like maybe a year and a half before. What else was out at the same time? Did anything else come out around the Dreamcast time?
Like 64 or something?
Was that the 64 PS1? Yeah. So
every system that come out early usually is the most selling, but not the case with the Wii U.
Not the case with the Wii U, not the case with Dreamcast.
Yeah.
People were saying, I remember people saying that that Wii U had Dreamcast written all over it.
Yeah. Well, the screen on the controller.
Did you ever have a Dreamcast, like, hold a Dreamcast controller? They were not, like, comfy, and those screens were stupid. And that screen literally showed you nothing. You had to put, like, different cartridges, and they had one little, like, word in it, and that's it. But I remember some of the games were pretty cool. Like, you could play, like, what was it, like, that first-person shooter that's huge on PCs. It was, like, Unreal Tournament. It was one of the games that you could play on it. It was leaps and bounds. Like, it was way better than, like, some of the stuff that was coming out at the time. And there was a Sonic game.
Before its time, man.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for them. And you know how Sony or Sega's doing now. Writing's on the wall. That's all I'm saying. What else have we got here? So yeah, Riddick, we haven't seen it, but it opened number 1 in North America as far as box office numbers.
I'm hoping to have seen it by next podcast, but I don't know for sure.
I went a full week between podcast, like Kick-Ass 2 came out, and no one else had seen it, and I saw it the week after. So it would only keep with the trend, so it's not that bad. Box office wise, it was Riddick made $18.7 million. The Butler, like, second place. Lee Daniels, The Butler, was first place 2 weeks in a row. Anyone? Do you guys, like, even know anything? I know very little about this movie.
Nope.
Jeremy, do you know anything?
Oh, it's like a racial movie or something like that.
Oh, okay. Is it like it's a drama?
Oprah Winfrey's in it.
Oh, it's the Oprah factor. Okay, that's what it is.
And Forrest Whitaker is the main character.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Instructions not included. 8.1 in third. I mean, again, have you heard about that? I've never heard about that movie either. We're the Millers made 7.9. This, for a movie that's really not very good, it made a lot of money so far.
I heard people love that movie.
Really? It's got like a good fan
pretty
following.
Funny.
I heard bad things, not good things, but maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. Elysium's still in the top 10. 3.1 million.
Elysium. Jamie, have you seen it?
No.
So Dan, you watched Elysium.
I just watched it.
Thought
Like,
about it.
don't waste your time, man.
Well, I talked about it on the podcast when I watched it, but
Why is this bad?
It pissed me off. I don't know. Maybe I was in the wrong state of mind when I was watching it. But, like, I guess the whole time I was watching, I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, why do I care? Like, I remember thinking in my head, what the fuck a lot.
Is the ending not the dumbest thing in the world? The ending makes no fucking sense.
The ending's so dumb. Like, I don't want to ruin it for you, Jeremy, but, like, it's just nothing's really explained properly. It's
everything's like magic. They have a magic
yeah,
box
it just
that does
throws you into
magic things.
this world
Yeah.
and says, okay, this is this little exosuit that we're gonna screw into your head. Again, doesn't really explain anything. They just put it on him, and then it doesn't explain what it can do. It's just like, oh, this is the third version of this suit. We're gonna put it on you, and like it's like the characters all understand the significance of that, but the audience doesn't. Nobody, I don't understand. I don't know. And
It's
then like
cool. It's like you do it just
like it can do some stuff, but and like certain things happen, and like I go see it. I guess it's probably like rented or something.
Even with District 9 though, there wasn't like everything wasn't fully explained and stuff.
But the way they did District 9 was like shot by like parts of it anyway, shot like almost like a mockumentary. Yeah. So you weren't in a position to. Well, you actually were in a position for them to explain things to you, because that first half of District 9, he's just going around and like talking to the camera and telling you about this world essentially, and then it's set up for you. Whereas this movie doesn't really do a good job of setting up the world. It kind of does. Well, there's a kind of cool intro scene where they kind of like fly through. It's kind of like that Mega City like one like from Riddick or not Riddick.
It's a cool concept, and like they kind of, but like even like the political side of it wasn't very fleshed out.
No, it's not at all.
They introduce a bunch of random characters that are. It's like this is this person. And
this person's evil, and like this person.
And in District 9, when he gets infected with that alien goo or whatever, he starts turning like he doesn't know what's going on either, and you're more on that ride with him. Whereas in this, they're like, okay, we're gonna put the suit on you. He's like, oh, okay, I get one of these suits now.
Well, I mean, he has you understand it because it's like he's dying. So he has only ever so long to live. But the ending to me is what bothers me the most. So the whole problem with the world is what? It's overpopulated.
Don't because Jeremy has.
Well, I mean, it's not really that. That's a premise of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? The world is overpopulated. The ending does not solve that problem at all.
No.
In fact, it makes it worse.
Yep.
Maybe that's what they wanted.
Well, if that's what they wanted, it made no fucking sense, and it was super cheesy. Like, remember when he's like typing in the thing and it said like it was like resident. It was like into just resident or whatever, and just press enter. Like that would somehow. Why do they have all these ships ready to go? Like, I don't make none of these things make any sense.
It wasn't explained properly.
There's some cool stuff.
There's so many things in it that I'm like why do I care? Like, what is like? Yeah, something happened, but like I couldn't understand what the significance of it was. Like. It didn't. It was just like, oh, this thing popped, or this guy did this, and got pulled out.
Kind of like a video game.
If we don't understand what the suit is for in the first place, or what any of that technology is for, what the significance of it is,
but
then
it
seeing something happen doesn't really bother. Yeah, it looked cool.
There's some really what do you think of the mercenary character, the guy from District 9?
He was cool.
I thought he was. I didn't like that character.
Why?
He was way over the top. Like, I mean, I understand he was like had like mental issues. Like, you need to talk about it, but like it was way over the top. In my opinion.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Do you like when his face got reconstructed?
Yeah.
You like that part?
Yeah.
That part was stupid. Sorry, we don't want to ruin too much. We don't want to ruin too much of the movie for you, Jeremy. I mean, I don't know when you're gonna see it, so I mean, at some point, spoilers. But like, you're not gonna go see it.
Well, that's not even the kind of movie that you need to be worried about spoilers for. I don't think. Like, you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, but like, you're not gonna be like ruined by this.
All right. Have you been watching anything else lately, Jen? Any like shows or Newsroom?
I watched the latest episode of Newsroom. I haven't done Breaking Bad yet.
Jeremy is.
No, I didn't have time today.
Oh man.
oh man. Sorry?
There's like 3 hours left.
No, it wasn't.
No, there's 3 hours left in the series.
Oh, okay.
About that.
I finished Orange is the New Black, the first season.
Yeah.
It started to piss me off again at the end, so I don't know.
So it's a hit and miss for you?
What? It started off good, and it started off like different, and then it like started talking about the dumb relationship crap for the second half.
You kind of need that for some shows, but I can't speak to Orange is the New Black. I haven't seen it, but like
it's not horrible, but it just it just started to get kind of boring for me at the end.
It's weird because that kind of stuff usually starts happening later in like series where you have like fan outcries for like certain characters to get together or not get together, whatever, shipping as it's known. Mm-hmm. But like in a series where it's all filmed at once, and it's one season, and no one has any like influence over how things are going to play out, that kind of thing to happen halfway through a season is kind of like odd. Well, whatever. I haven't really been watching anything. I've been really busy. I would like to watch more Buffy. I want to finish watching. I want to finish watching the Buffy, like all of it. Yeah, every time I turn around, there's some reference to Buffy about Ed Whedon's philosophies and how all that all worked. But yeah, Jeremy, have you been watching anything lately? No, playing anything?
I just bought the Mario and Luigi Dream Team for 3DS.
Nice.
And, a month ago, I forgot about it. So.
Have you put it in? Have you played it at all?
No, I haven't played it.
Just bought it, didn't play it.
Just got it.
You were never, Dan. You never liked the Mario Luigi Superstar Saga or anything like that. Eh? You never.
I didn't mind them.
You never played.
I never really.
Did you ever have any handhelds?
I never owned a handheld system. I only played if I would borrow yours or something like that, right?
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I mean, I can't believe you never owned a handheld.
Some of the best RPG adventures you can have.
Yeah.
Do you like the old school RPGs? I'm kind of more into the Western versus JRPG versus the traditional turn-based style RPG. The Western RPG for me right now is where it's at, with Mass Effect and
this one's a good mix, and plus there's a lot of timing elements too and stuff. So
yeah, I mean
it's pretty addicting,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
And for a Mario game, anyways, as funny as it can be, I feel like there's some there's joke. I don't know. I haven't played this one, but some of the old ones had subtle jokes that were kids wouldn't get, but were mature humor.
And I picked up Max Payne 3 for $15.
That's a Rockstar game, right?
Yeah. So I want to see what it's all about because I've heard good things and bad things, but it was cheap. So
I've heard the controls are really good and that they're using a lot of those shooting mechanics for GTA 5.
Right.
I'm excited for GTA 5.
Yeah, the first time.
I know. This is the only time in my life I'm going to buy a Grand Theft Auto game, but I'm probably going to buy it.
I feel like I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas at your house on the PS2.
If we rented it or someone brought it over.
No, you had it. I'm
I've
pretty sure you had
never
that
owned
game.
a Grand Theft Auto game.
That's what made the PS2. San Andreas was or what came out first?
3.
3 is what made the PS2. San Andreas was a whole new thing. Remember Samuel Jackson was in San Andreas?
I don't remember it because I never owned the game.
You never played San Andreas? What? Yes, you
Come on,
have.
man. I just said I never owned that game.
No, I know I played it at your house.
Ray Liotta was the main character in Vice City.
Yeah.
Sick.
We haven't made another game set in Vice City yet. It's one of the main games. I would like to see that happen because that it's kind of tough though because the Vice City was kind of set in that that time in that version of Miami where drugs were huge and all that kind of Scarface type setting. It's kind of hard to go back to Miami. What are you gonna do in a modern Miami?
Maybe,
Not quite
maybe the online part of the game might have downloadable maps or something like that too.
Well, I mean, they're saying that the online section of GTA is just going to keep getting bigger. It's a big consistent world, and
you got expansions with.
How cool would it be if you just they added states at a time, next?
Jesus.
Well, except for maybe Nebraska and stuff. That's not really exciting.
Iowa.
GTA 5 Iowa edition. But what you have to fight off Cornhuskers. Or, Cornhuskers aren't really villains, I guess. They just husk corn. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to see a world of GTA where it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you have a whole. I feel like we'll get there. You can travel through our entire virtual, fake United States. That's all a giant joke, essentially.
And it merges with The Sims.
Yeah. No, yep. That idea is the best.
I would never leave my house if that was good.
That's the funniest thing. I can't. Oh, I love it. We're gonna pitch that idea to EA and Rockstar crossover, or just make a video of it, just a fake video. If anyone's out there listening, someone make that. If you're listening to the podcast where we talk about the Sims GTA crossover, we have people deciding on what kind of wallpaper to buy. And then they're just worried for their life because there could be people driving around killing them at any moment. Oh, okay. Anyway, I think that pretty much does it. Follow us on Twitter at TowerBabbleCast. Send us emails, towerbabblepodcast@gmail.com. Visit the site, comment. I'm also looking for contributors, someone to maybe write them some stuff. Like, maybe just to fill it up. I'm obviously not going to pay you. So, but I'll host your stuff for free. So there's that. So again, send that to powerbabblepodcast@gmail.com. Other than that,
email.
Sorry?
We even had one email.
I don't want to talk about it. We've had comments on the website. Just no one sent any questions. I wanted people to send in like Twitter questions. Don't send Gmail questions. Twitter questions. If you have any questions you want us to answer, if you care about our opinions, Twitter's the place to do it. There's Facebook as well. We're on Google Plus. So, find us if you're on the web, search for Tower Babble Podcast on Google and you'll find us. So we'll see you guys next week.